Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the first watch along of the weekend. Hope everyone is doing well and keeping okay on this Saturday. It's a beautiful Saturday, isn't it? Hope everyone is doing really well. We're all set for Welsh Derby tonight as the Scarlets welcome the Dragons down to Parc Scarlets. Kickoff is about 7 minutes away and really looking forward to this game. Hope everyone is doing very well in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, who you're supporting. We've already had comments in about the Ulster-Toulouse game. We will be keeping an eye out on that game as well. That one kicks off at 8 p.m, so keep an eye out on that as well. But let me know how you're all doing this evening in the chat. It is, exactly, James. Hope you're doing well over in Germany. Paul, come on, Scholars, take note of our 13 and natural placements for now. Aging Fox are going to be a great outside centre. Well, we'll have a look, of course, through the two sides in just a second, and I will, of course, give my predictions on how I think this game is going to go. You, of course, can get your thoughts in the chat as well. Please do hit the like button, by the way, massively appreciated, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new. But really looking forward to this game. Didn't do a watch along last week. Had a chest infection. Thought it could have been the virus, but fortunately it wasn't. Although my family members, everyone has had it except for me. So really counting my blessings in that area, that's for sure. But really looking forward to this one, actually. And you've got to say the Scarlets have picked up some form recently and have won the last 3 on the bounce. Have managed to really push themselves up the table, and there's still an outside chance that they can get into those playoff spaces, which is going to be tough. But looking forward to seeing what the Scarlets can do tonight. Not so confident about the Dragons. I don't really have a bone in this one, to be honest. So I'm not that fussed about who wins, being an Ospreys fan. But I just want to see a good, feisty derby game. The weather is perfect, so hopefully we'll have some free-flowing rugby to watch. Richard, hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Should be a good game indeed. And looking forward to this one. I actually haven't caught any rugby this weekend, really. I've just been so busy with everything else. Obviously, we had the FA Cup today as well, so watch that one. So, yeah, it's been a bit mad. Obviously, Easter weekend, it is a little bit crazy now and again. But looking forward to this one. On holiday, Dubai for golf. Wow. People living the good life, supervising how easy it is to watch rugby here. Surprising, I'm sure you're trying to say how easy it is to watch rugby here. There are ways that you can do it. There are ways you can get around it, aren't there? And I'm not advertising or recommending either of those ways. Right, let's have a look then at the Scarlets team first of all. I'll share my screen so you can see it as well. So this is how Scarlets line up this evening. Starting at fullback, Liam Williams starts at fullback, with Corey Baldwin starting on the wing alongside Steph Evans. Jonathan Davis and Joe Roberts starting the centre. As someone already has said in the chat, Joe Roberts, a really exciting young centre, only 21 years old. So do keep an eye on him. Sam Costello gets the nod at 10. Kieran Hardy gets the nod at 9. In the front row, then we have Steph Thomas, Sean Evans, and Javan Sebastian. Of course, Javan Sebastian is a Scotland international. Sam Lowsey, who I've been massively impressed by this season, starts in the lock alongside Morgan Jones, with Aaron Shingler, one of the unluckiest guys with injuries, starts in the locks. And then Thomas Lozana and Sione Kalamafoni starts in at the back row as well. Sione Kalamafoni, huge ball carrier. Keep an eye out on him. And leaving the bench of Dav Hughes, Rob Evans, Javi O'Connor, Blade Thompson, Josh McLeod, Dane Blacker, Angus O'Brien, and Johnny Williams as well. If we have a look then at how the Dragons line up, this is how they line up this evening. Starting at fullback, then Josh Lewis starts at fullback with Jared Rosser and Rio Dyer on the wings. Rio Dyer is a future star. Watch this kid tonight because he is so fast. So just keep an eye out on what he can do with ball in hand. Really exciting talent and excited to see how he goes. Jack Dixon and Adam Warren play in the centres with Sam Davis at 10. Gonzalo Bertranu is preferred to Hodgie Williams at 9. In the front row then, Aki Sayulu, Elliot D and Leon Brown play in the front row. Alongside them in the locks is Ben Carter and Will Rowlands, because both of them Wales internationals now. Harrison Keddy is at 6, and captain of this team with Tane Basham and Evan Wainwright completing a very interesting back row. Leaving a bench, and if I can actually read this, Taylor Davis, Chris Coleman, Ben Fry, Will Reed, Josh Reynolds, Joe Davis, Rodri Williams, and David Richards as well. So those are the two sides. Let me know your predictions and let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Let me know your predictions as well. There's only one way I see this game going, if I'm being totally honest. There's only one way I see this game going. We've read that. I think Dragons have the edge up front. So important for Scarlets to get quick ball. I think Dragons' back row is really tasty with Basham and Wainwright together in that back row. I think, Rio Dan is a really exciting talent. I worry about the centre partnership for the Dragons. I don't feel that it's that strong. And it's going to be a tough afternoon for the Dragons. It's going to be a tough afternoon for them. Tough evening. I'm talking about Bards. All right, on in there. Nice. Well, we will keep an eye out on the other game, of course, tonight, which is Ulster against Toulouse. But being a Welshman, I wanted to do the Welsh derbies. And there are so many derbies next weekend. I mean, we've got Welsh derbies and we've got Ulster-Munster next weekend. So it's going to be a busy weekend on the channel next week. But felt I needed last week off. But we're back anyway. 10 of you already in. So welcome in, folks. And make sure to hit that like button as you come in and subscribe. Both teams are out. It's not full at Padca Scarlets, which is a little bit of a shame, but a decent amount. Jonathan Davis, the captain of the team. Very experienced, of course, and coming into a bit of form as well for the Scarlets recently, which has been really, really encouraging. And it's Cubby Davis coming out now. Obviously, sadly, had to retire. We heard the news last week, had to retire due to the effects of concussion. 201 games for the Scarlets, 11 caps for Wales, and also won a silver medal at the Olympics playing for Sevens rugby. And so good to see him on the pitch, and really sad situation with him. And he's such a talent, but had so many injuries over the years. But great to see him back. What did I think about the Connacht Leinster game? It was inevitable that Leinster would pull away in the end, wasn't it? In the first game, fairly close. In the second game, it just didn't stand a chance, and it's just the power of Leinster at the minute. Ben Whitehouse is the referee. Aled Evans, Ben Breakspear are the linesmen as well. So we're all set for this one. Ben Whitehouse checks with both sets of players that everything is good, and we are underway. Scarlets getting us underway. They're in their traditional red, while the Dragons are in their traditional black kit. And it is the Scarlets who have kicked us off, and the Dragons with the ball in their own 22. Make sure to let me know your thoughts on the game as we go through, and what you make of the aspects of the game. My prediction, I think it's going to be tight early on, especially because it is a derby. It naturally is. That's just how it goes. But I do expect the Scarlets to pull away later on in the game. I think Scarlets will win by 14-17. I could easily see them doing that. Yeah, I'm much better. Thank you very much. There were worries that it could have been the virus. Everyone else in my family's got it. Although I live alone, I visit them quite regularly. And everyone else got it. My sister, her husband, their child got it. My mum and dad got it. And then there was just me. But I, fortunately, have not got it. Yeah, absolutely brilliant game. I caught the highlights of it. And Quinn scored a brilliant try, didn't they? But in the end, left themselves too much to do. But yeah, good to be back. Good to be back doing watch-alongs. It's been a couple of weeks, really, but I felt I needed that break, to be honest. Like, uni's been pretty mad over the last month or so. Bit of kick tennis going on early on here. Steph Evans kicking it back down. Sam Davis sending it up and looking to retain his own kick. Oh, lack of communication there between the two Scarlets players who ran into each other, but Dragons penalised anyway for being offside. Kieran Hardy there. And I think it might have been Steph Evans who ran into each other. I'm not sure what's going on with Gareth Davis, if he's injured today, or if it's just a case that Kieran Hardy's getting the nod. But Sam Costello will send it down. That is one position, to an extent, that I think the Scarlets are lacking in, is at the fly half position. Obviously, they have Reece Patchell again. I'm not sure if he if he's injured. I don't know if Reece Patchell is injured again, but that is the area that I think the Scarlets even need to improve on Patchell, to be honest. Get a good fly half, international standard fly half in there. Dragons have signed JJ Hanrahan for next season, which is a fantastic signing. I think Sam Davis is a good fly half, but I think Hanrahan is a level above on that. So I do think that is an area that they certainly need to look to improve on. The line out there taken from the Scarlets to set up the drive more. They do get it out. Some good hands here from the Scarlets. And they will go through the phases here. And the big thing for the Scarlets this season, the big thing about them is they just haven't been able to put games together because of varying issues, because of issues with the virus. Of course, they were stuck out in South Africa for such a long time. But you can see what Dwayne Peel is trying to do with this team. There is an identity with this team, and it is beginning to work. And they still have an outside shout at those playoffs. I think it's going to be really tough for them to do that, but they still have an outside shout that they could do it for sure. Scarlets are not really going anywhere here. Still on the 10-meter line in the Dragons' half. Solid defense from the Dragons. The ball is really slow here for the home team. And it is... Oh, we might have quite a serious injury here. Elliot D has taken a pretty serious head knock, it seems. And he's going to receive some treatment. So there is a stop in play here. Just Marcus Smith also played for Tottenham. Massive ball. Yeah, tough one in it. Yeah, he's an absolutely brilliant talent, but just let the guy play. That's what I feel about it. Whenever you would watch England, especially on ITV, this Six Nations, Mark Smith was the best thing since sliced bread, apparently, and even if it was, England against France, something like that, where the focus should be on the likes of Dupont and Tamac, the focus would always be on Mark Smith. But that's how the English media are. They like to hype up players. They do the same with football. It's the same. Yeah, Elliot D taking a real big knock there from Sione Kalamafoni, and he is going to have to go off for a HIA. 3.5 minutes gone in this one. And Davis will replace him in the front row. So an early involvement for him, and the chance for the first scrum as well. So Elliot D leaves the pitch. So scrum to Scarlets on the 10-meter line, very central. So a good position for them if they can do something from this position. Solid scrum from the Dragons there. Jonathan Davis into Roberts. Quick ball here for the Scarlets. Half a break from Kieran Hardy into the 22. Scarlets into the 22 for the first time in this one. Davis into Lousy. Oh, I think that's a turnover there. No. Dragons unable to do it. Ball is still there, though, for the Scarlets. They're getting a nice, quick ball here, but the defence from the Dragons is really solid. But just got to be patient here, you feel, the Scarlets. Liam Williams into the 22 once again. On the right-hand side here, Kieran Hardy. Again, not all that much invention from the Scarlets, but good patience being shown. Sam Costello. Is that a high tackle on him? I thought that was slightly high. Ben Whitehouse doesn't agree with me. Jonathan Davis. Kieran Hardy gets it out. Liam Williams throws the dummy. Again, Dragons have pushed them back out of the 22 here. This is very solid defence from them. Mark, hope you're doing well. I'm very well, thank you. Enjoying the sun at the minute and enjoying the rugby as well. Hope things are good with you wherever you are. Hope you're keeping okay. And nothing coming from that one. Nothing coming from that one for the Scarlets. I think they've actually knocked it on there. So had a lot of the ball. Didn't do all that much with it, though. Jack Carty is hyped up by the Irish media. I think he can be very good, but it's not consistent. He's my fourth kick of Ireland behind Ross, Joey, and, of course, Johnny Sexton. Carty, I think Carty's a very good player, but I think he's a very limited player in what he's able to do. I think it's very similar to the case, and I'm not saying he's at the level of this guy. It's very similar to Dan Biggar. Dan Biggar is very limited in what he can do. He's not going to run the attacking game for you in the way that a Finn Russell can, or in the way that a Johnny Sexton can. He's not going to do that, but what he can do is very good. He does what he does very well, but he's limited in that sense. And I think that's kind of similar for Jack Carty with his situation. Probably, you know, because he plays for Connacht, there may be that in the back of the mind of Andy Favell when picking his Irish team. And also now he's got Sexton, and then he's got Carberry off the bench. And really, I don't know. I mean, Carberry as well could play fullback. That's the other thing. That's why you have him in there. So it's a difficult one for. Oh my gosh, that's a big hit. Wow. I don't know if that was late at all. The players stayed down. Jonathan Davis, I think, has just flown out. I don't know who he's hit there. Oh my gosh, this is a huge hit. So it's cleared away. I think they might have a look at this one. They're going to check this. I don't think there's anything actually wrong with this. So the Dragons player's gone to kick it away. Jonathan Davis, literally a second later, he's made a hit on him. He's got rid of the ball, but he's made a hit like half a second late. I don't think there's much in this, to be honest, because if he's wrapped, I think they'll be all right. Let's have a look here. Ben Whitehouse talking to the TMO. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. So here we go. Kick is cleared away. Where's the point of contact? So it is shoulder on shoulder. It's shoulder on shoulder. Jonathan Davis, shoulder on shoulder. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. No, it's shoulder on shoulder. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I think that's okay. He's not particularly late. He's half a second late. So Ben Whitehouse wants to have another look at this. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Let me know if you're watching the game. Let me know in the chat. Do you think there's anything wrong with this tackle? To me, I think there's enough wrap. Shoulder on shoulder. It's not particularly late. The only thing you could say is that when he's hit him, he's hit the shoulder, but his shoulder has travelled up ever so slightly. I think it'd be really harsh if this is a yellow. I think this would be really harsh if this is a yellow. I don't see anything wrong with this. The only thing you could say is that his shoulder after the original contact does travel up slightly, but I don't know. So let's have a listen to what Ben Whitehouse has got to say. Wow, he's going to give a yellow. He is going to give a yellow here. I am pretty surprised at that, to be honest. I think that's harsh. I think that's harsh. Jonathan Davis sent to the bin. I think that's harsh. I don't think it's a yellow. I just don't think that's a yellow card. I think it's harsh. I think it's harsh on Jonathan Davis, that one. I think that is harsh. I was watching the Senior Cup in the 10 for Blackrock, who's already 17, playing like Sexton, pull the string, demands the structure. I think that's the thing, you know, you want to get those youngsters coming through. You want to get that pathway. And I think that's something that the Irish sides do extremely well, is have that pathway. So it is going to be a penalty to the Dragons here. Sam Davis is pointing towards the sticks because After the tackle, Liam Williams did kick it out on the full. So it's a chance for the Dragons to get the first points of the game here. 7 minutes into this one. And Sam Davis right from the sticks on the 10-metre line in the Scarlets half with a chance to give them the early lead here. Also, do you notice Leinster don't really miss Sexton and Ross just slots in? Obviously, there's a slight difference, but as Leinster, you don't feel worried. I think because the system at Leinster and the way of play is so well known, and I'm sure that's the case through all the age groups. Oh, he's missed. Sam Davis has hit the post. He's missed the kick. But yeah, as I was saying, you know, the players just fit into the system. They just fit straight into the system. It's not a case of it's a different style. They're not used to it. They just fit in. And the quality of players coming through as well. I think Welsh rugby can learn a lot from the way Leinster are doing things. Because if you look at how the national team play, they play very similar to the way Leinster play. Munster play very similar. Yes, and the beauty with Ulster and Connacht is that they both have a bit more of an attacking flair, especially Ulster. So what Andy Farrell's done this season is he's brought those Ulster players in, such as Mike Lowry, and added that little bit to the team. And so now this Irish side is very, very strong. Very, very strong. So Welsh rugby seems to be a little bit like bits trying to be put together where there isn't those links at all. All the regions play very different styles of rugby. Scarlets want to throw the ball about. Wales, sorry, not Wales. Ospreys, very forward orientated, pretty boring to watch, if I'm totally honest. Cardiff want to do a bit of both. The Dragons haven't got a Scooby-Doo what they're trying to do, to be honest. So, yeah, it is a little bit all over the place in Wales at the minute. Line out here to the Scarlets from that penalty, not rolling away at the ruck, driving maul set up. Don't forget, Scarlets down to 14 men. Jonathan Davis, the captain, sent to the sin bin for a high tackle. And driving maul's not going anywhere. So Kieran Hardy will send it up. And it's well taken by Rio Dyer. Really excited about him. And excited to see what he can do. And it is Dragons ball inside their own half. Gonzalo Birchin, who preferred today to Hodru Williams, which is an interesting one. And that's a lovely kick from the Dragons. If that reaches touch, it will be a 50-22, but it doesn't. Steph Evans actually does really well to get it back. But the Dragons here putting pressure early on the Scarlets. And Scarlets in their own 22 here. We'll have to go through the phases. So Ross should be playing in New Zealand. And Frawley could go down to New Zealand. Well, closer to the time, I will do a video on who I think should be going on each of the tours and taking part. Of course, Wales head to South Africa. Oh, gosh. England will go to Australia. Ireland, of course, go to New Zealand. I'm pretty sure Scotland are going to Argentina, aren't they? So it's going to be interesting to see how they go. And interesting to see how the teams do, for sure. And it'll give us a good idea, you know, a year and a bit away from a World Cup. It'll give us an interesting idea of how that's going to look. I don't know where France are going, are they? Are France playing Georgia or something like that? I got a feeling they have. So 10.5 minutes gone in this one. Dragons with possession just inside the Scarlets half. The Dragons, fair play, would be very happy with how they started. Rio Dyer, inside ball. Oh, lovely tackle coming in from Steph Evans there. Dragons up to the 5-metre line. Oh, and they're going to have someone sent to the bin. Someone's going to be in the bin here. Steph Evans is in the bin. Oh, has he not released the man after the tackle? He hasn't. So Steph Evans has completed a brilliant tackle, but he's clearly not made enough of an effort to release the play. He's gone back in to try and jackal the ball. And Scarlets are down to 13 men here. 11 minutes gone. Steph Evans in the bit. It's a brilliant recovery tackle from him. But then the problem is then that he's not released the player quick enough, and he's gone back in for the jackal. And let's have a look at this. Has he released him? No, he hasn't released him. It's a brilliant call from the referee. It's a fantastic spot from Ben Whitehouse. It's a lovely break here from Rio Dyer. Just shows bags of pace. Plays it inside. This is a massive opportunity for the Dragons now. Scrum 5 meters out, 2 extra men. Massive opportunity for them. I'm really looking forward to Jenkins coming to Leinster next season, especially when we are in the international section. He is important, and that's the big thing, you know, with a lot of teams is, do you have the depth in the international stages? Now, I know that the URC, their original plan was to stop the URC during the international break. That was the plan, that there wouldn't be games on during that time. I think to encourage crowds to go down, that, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about competing with the international game. And that next season, I think that's going to be the case again. But once again, it's good to have that squad depth. A solid scrum here from the Dragons, 5 meters out. Big chance here, you feel. Straight through the gap. Chance here for the Dragons. Oh, he's dropped it over the line. Has he finished it? I think Ben Whitehouse has given it. Oh, I don't know. This might have been dropped over the line. He's going to check it. He's going to check it here. It's Jack Dixon who's crossed. I don't know if he's dropped this over the line. Let's have a look here. Oh. Let's have a look here. Does he drop it? Does he put it on the line and it moves? Oh. I think he has knocked it forward. Yeah, I think he's knocked that on. I think this is going to be a 5 meter scrum to the Scarlets. I do think he's knocked this one on. Yeah, I think he's knocked this on. I don't think this is going to be given for the Dragons. Unfortunately, it's a brilliant try from Roberts, the younger centre, and Kieran Hardy as well together. Jack Dixon there. Almost crossing. But I think it's going to be a scrum to the Scarlets. Playing sevens rugby tomorrow for the first time. 40 degrees, Jesus. Look, sevens rugby is class, but it's hard. It's hard work. I mean, I've only just started. Well, not only just started, but I've been back playing 5-a-side 40 for the first time in a long time for the past 2 months or so. And first time I went back, I felt it. Because I go to the gym, workout, but just weights mostly. So I didn't do cardio for a good 9 months. And I really felt it. Now I feel like my fitness is getting back there, which is good. Oh, Ben Whitehouse has given the try, which is an interesting call. He clearly thinks that there's enough there to give that try. So Dixon has crossed here for the Dragons. And the conversion has been added. So it is Dragons 7, Scarlets 0. Don't know if I agree with that. But clearly Ben Whitehouse thinks there's enough in the grounding there. But I don't know if there really is enough there. But 7 points to 0. 2 yellow cards for the Scarlets at the minute. So down to 13 men. It's a huge opportunity for the Dragons. And to think, what you have to remember as well, Dragons have only won 1 game all season. 1 game all season. 1 game all season, which is pretty dreadful, to be honest. Gonzalo Bertranu clears it from the maul. And, oh, lovely break here from Liam Williams on the left-hand side. He's taken down, though. And it's going to be a bit of kicking going on here. Sam Costello sends it back down. And that has reached touch. So line out to the Dragons then, just inside their own half. Love playing 5-a-side, absolutely playing 5-a-side beach football. That must be pretty tiring on the calves, I think. That must be pretty tiring. It's going to be interesting, though, to see what the Scarlets can do here. They've had some good possession in this game, but not really done all that much with it. And obviously, the 2 yellows. I think the Jonathan Davis one is a harsh yellow. Second one, there's no complaints about that. The try is questionable, I think. It's a difficult one to call. But here come the Dragons, though, from the line out. Knocked on, though, in the tackle. I actually think the pass before the knock-on was forward as well. But the Scarlets, the problem for the Scarlets is if you open up and start throwing the ball about, you get turned over, you're in a lot of trouble, aren't you? Because you're 2 men down. So they're just going to have to manage the game, play in the right areas of the field until at least they get Jonathan Davis back, and hope that the Dragons give away penalties, which they have, and it's an offside. So chance here for the Scarlets just to take a breather and get themselves down the pitch. The Ulster-Toulouse game is kicking off right now, so we will keep an eye out on how that one goes, and we'll keep you up to date on what happens with that. Of course, we've seen a lot of games today. We saw Munster go through against Exeter, which is a really, really big result. 34-23 on aggregates, winning 26-10 today. So that is pretty impressive. We've also got Gloucester taking on Northampton Saints tonight as well. And as I said, Ulster against Toulouse as well tonight, which we'll keep an eye out on. Another penalty given away here by the Dragons, not helping themselves. Will Rowlands taking the man out in the air in the line out. I mean, if you're Scarlets here, you take the points. 2 men down, you got a chance to take the points. And that is what they're going to do. Sam Costello points towards the post. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. Volleys and bicycle kicks are easier. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Will Rowlands just so unnecessary from a Dragons point of view. You know, these are the things with the Dragons. The Dragons have a brilliant opportunity in this game at the minute to really kick on and begin to, you know, get the scoreboard going. And yet they're giving away stupid penalties. And that's the problem with the Scarlets. That's the problem that's been with the Scarlets, is that they just cannot put an 80 minutes performance together, cannot do the basics right. And honestly, it's painful to watch them. I'd hate to be a Dragons fan. I'm not going to lie. I know a few people who are, and one win all season, paying your money to sometimes watch the way they play it's a tough watch. It's a tough watch. So Sam Costello with a chance to give the Scarlets their first points of the evening, and he does. And the Scarlets are on the scoreboard. Scarlets 3, Dragons 7. 16 and a half minutes gone at Parker Scarlets. Of course, Scarlets down to 13 men, but 4 points in it now. And Sam Davis will get us back underway. And it is sent down, and Sione Kalamafoni has ball in hand. Oh, he's lost it forward here. So advantage to the Dragons just outside the Scarlets 22. Tane Basham picks it up. Harrison Keddy. Big tackle coming in on him from Javan Sebastian. Still there, though, for the Dragons, but they have been pushed back by the Scarlets defence. Will Rowlands, and then knocked on by the Scarlets in the tackle. So chance here for the Scarlets if they can look up. Liam Williams tries to go on a bit of a run, but he's stopped just inside their own 22 here. And Kieran Hardy trying to just calm things down a little bit. It's a little bit hectic at the minute from both sides. Neither team really looking after possession. And Kieran Hardy with a chance here to clear. And he sends it down. Doesn't reach touch, though. So chance here. Rio Dyer comes in field. Chance for him to run with the ball. Good tackle on him from Aaron Shingler. Sam Davis out wide here. Lovely hands into Dixon. Back into Keddy. Lovely hands here. Bertrand into the 22. Dragons putting some nice passage of play here, but the Scarlets have managed to turn it over. And it's a Liam Williams with a turnover. Bertrand isn't happy. But again, the Dragons just little mistakes that, you know, they put themselves into good positions, but little mistakes really beginning to cost them. Jonathan Davis back onto the pitch. And Sam Costello with a chance to send this one down. And And he sends it down, and it will be a line out just inside their own half. It was really nice play here from the Dragons. You know, good hands, passing it in field. But then again, Bertrand just completely isolated. Potentially could have said there was a little bit of a high tackle in that build-up there. Maybe went against the Dragons. But for the Scarlets, I mean, you know, you got Jonathan Davis back on now. So you're back to 14. And as I say that, they give away a stupid penalty. The fake throw at the line out. We haven't seen Elliot D back, so I assume that he's gone. I assume that that's it, that he is gone. That's what it looks like. So he won't be coming back, so we hope he's okay. There will be a scrum here, though, to the Scarlets. The Dragons, sorry. Nearly halfway through this first half. Still only 7 points to 3. And it's going to be a scrum here to the Dragons. Solid scrum from both teams. Dragons get it out. Bertrand gives it into Sam Davis. Sam Davis, there is an overlap out there. It's a brilliant tackle from Steph Evans on Rio Dyer. And penalty to the Scarlets as well. So the Dragons just really not helping themselves, are they? Here we go. Ulster to lose. Absolutely. We'll be keeping an eye out on that game as well for the duration of this one. Johan, hope you're doing well in South Africa. Hope things are okay. If you haven't checked Johan's channel out, by the way, make sure to head over there. Fantastic YouTuber over there. Head over there and subscribe. But the Dragons just not helping themselves whatsoever in this one. And it's a brilliant tackle. Sorry, it wasn't Steph Evans with that tackle. It was Corey Baldwin who just flew out the line and just read it brilliantly. And then Jonathan Davis with the turnover. And it's actually going to be a line out here to the Scarlets just inside the 22 of the Dragons. They set up the driving maul. If Scarlets were to score here, this would perfectly summarize the Dragons up. Would just perfectly summarize them up. Moore's not really going anywhere, so Kieran Hardy gets it out. Jonathan Davis as the first receiver into the 22. Kieran Hardy back to Sam Costello into Corey Baldwin. Dragons trying to turn it over. Surely that's a penalty, hands in the maul there, but Ben Whitehouse lets it go. It's a really slow ball. Dragons have managed to push the Scarlets back here outside of the 22. Again, Scarlets were in this position earlier on in the game. They were really patient, but never really looked like scoring. But if they're playing in the right areas of the field, that's going to be the most important thing for them. Kieran Hardy gets it out. Costello. Good run here. A little bit more momentum, a little bit more pace. Toulouse are 3-0 up already. Wow, we'll keep an eye out on that for sure. Chance here for the Scarlets, though. Sione Kalamafoni on the left-hand side, one hand on the ball. Chance here if Jonathan Davis picks it up. He's 2 meters short. Going for the corner here. The Scarlets are literally half a meter short here. Trying to go for the line. Sam Lousy goes for it. The forwards are going to hold on to this for a while, you feel. This is the closest Scarlets have been in this game. 22.5 minutes gone in this one. Scarlets a metre and a half short. Javan Sebastian tries to go. Kieran Hardy spreads it out. Jonathan Davis. 16 phases and an advantage to the Scarlets here. And don't forget, they are still a man down. Still playing the advantage. Kieran Hardy gets it out. Sam Costello. Brilliant run here. Going for the line as he reached us. It's short. He's been held up. And we'll go back for the original penalty. Dragons not helping themselves at all, are they? Really not helping themselves. Did I see the game? I didn't see the game, but I heard that it was pretty crazy. Blues winning at the Crusaders for the first time since 2004, was it? Something like that. So an incredible achievement and Super Rugby. I mean, I try and watch as much of the highlights as I can, and I've got to say, it's so entertaining, isn't it? So entertaining. TMO check in that game. Let me know what's happening in that one, James. Bath are beating Edinburgh at the minute. Bath are winning by 5 points to 0. Sam Underhill has actually scored a try in that one. Now, of course, is the Challenge Cup. Tomorrow we are doing a Challenge Cup match. We are doing Cardiff Rugby against Saracens. Well, Saracens against Cardiff. That's an early kickoff. So 1 o'clock kickoff tomorrow UK time. So we'll be going live about 12:45. I'll drop a link in the chat. I'm going to try actually get Ben on that one with me, but I'll have to send him a message. See if he wants to jump on that one with me on Easter Sunday. Kieran Hardy, Scarlets here, elected to go to the corner, but they're going through the forwards now. Still 2 meters short. Again, actually, they're back up to the full 15 now. Beginning to come forward here. A metre short. Kieran Hardy tries to go alone, but Havson Keddy reads it well. Javan Sebastian tries to go alone, but tackled as well. Solid defensive from the Dragons. Scarlets need a little bit of creativity. Has Aaron Shingler got there? Yes, he has. And the Scarlets, I think it's Shingler. Is it Shingler? It may not be Shingler. Who's got there? Is it Kalamafoni's got there? It is Sione Kalamafoni crosses for the Scarlets. And Scarlets are lead here by 8 points to 7. And if that pasture play summarises the Dragons up, it just perfectly summarises them up, doesn't it? Yeah, 2004. Scott Robertson is still a fantastic coach, so absolutely. I mean, I would take him at Wales, but that's not going to happen. Yellow card for Balakoon. I mean, they are leading in that tie, so it'll be interesting to see how that one goes, won't it? Bath are leading now by 7 points to 0, by the way. And we will keep an eye out, of course, on the others. So Toulouse leading by 3 points to 0. And Sam Costello adds the 2 points. So Scarlets extend their lead here, leading here by 10 points to 7. And after all the opportunity that this Dragons team had, they're 10 points to 7 down. And that's the problem with them. I don't know if it's a mentality thing. I don't know if it's the quality on the pitch thing. I don't know if it's the coaching. I don't know what it is. But it just doesn't work at the minute for them. So 26.5 minutes gone. So just about 13 minutes to go until half time. It's not been particularly free-flowing. But it's been enjoyable nonetheless. And now it really is on Scarlets now to really begin to dictate this game, really begin to control it. It's difficult. What's the response going to be from the Dragons? They've had their opportunities and not really sure. Not really sure if the Dragons have the answers. I think the Kings of the North should play against the Kings of the South Club Rugby, which in the case should be Leinster Crusaders. So you can play first in Dublin, then in Christchurch. It has been talked about. It has been talked about a lot. And I would be absolutely down for it if you can fit it into the rugby calendar. Absolutely would be down for it. I'd also be down to see the winner of the Six Nations taking on the winner of the Rugby Championship. I would be absolutely down for that because they're doing that with the football now. So Argentina, who won the Copa America, are going to be playing against Italy in June. Italy, of course, won the Euros. And they're going to be playing against each other. So I'd absolutely be down. I probably am watching the wrong game. I probably am. But fancied watching the Welsh Derbies. I always want to support the Welsh teams and give them as much coverage as possible. But, of course, our attention does turn to the Challenge Cup tomorrow. And then it's all URC next week. It's all URC next week again. And then when the semi-finals roll around, absolutely attention will turn to them. We'll turn to them on a yellow card for, is that for a Toulouse player? I assume it is. Crazy game. Ooh, bit of footballing skills going on there from Steph Evans, who's back on the pitch. little bit all over the place this game now as we head towards the final 10 minutes. It hasn't really had the flow in the game that you would expect, to be honest. You'd have expected it to have a little bit more of a flow in the game. Yeah, yellow card for Toulouse. Dillabert has been sent to the bin for a tip tackle. Gloucester are leading against Northampton by 14 points to 0 in that one. Gloucester absolutely flying in that. 2 yellows in 6 minutes. Crazy, isn't it? I really want to see Scarlets doing better in the URC. I'd love to see the Welsh regions do better in the URC as well, Johan. I would really like to see it. And I think the big thing here in Wales, the big conversation here in Wales, of course, is that the national team has done so well for so long. And maybe now the fact that the regions are struggling so much, that Welsh rugby to an extent is struggling in Wales so much, that it is beginning to catch up with us, you know. And I also think that Wayne Pivac is not the right man for the job, but nothing's going to change around that. And I can't see how he survives past the World Cup, to be honest, unless we go on and I don't even know if semi-final saves his job, to be honest. I think the idea will be that he will go at the end of the World Cup. It's the end of his contract as well. I just can't see, unless we go and we blow teams away, get to a semi-final, maybe get to a final. I just don't know how he stays there. And also, we got a tough group. Australia are tough. They're improving a lot under Dave Rennie. It'll be interesting to see how they do this summer against England. Fiji are massively improving. And, of course, the addition of Fijian Drew and Moana Pacific. Yeah, it's going to be a tough World Cup for Wales, but interesting to see how it goes. Oh, Dragons here, off the back of the scrum. Lovely break here from Aaron Wainwright, just outside the 22. Gives the pop-up pass to Gonzalo Bertranu, the scrum half. Dragons need to recycle this ball quickly. Will Rowland into Sam Davis. Ollie Dixon. Lovely step inside here. The Dragons all of a sudden beginning to throw the ball about and looking dangerous. In the 22 here, about 12 metres out of absolutely nothing from the back of the scrum. Five phases in here. Ball has slowed down a little bit for them. Slow ball, though. Still really slow. Harrison Keddy slips, but he's still got it. And this is where the Dragons struggle. Because the Dragons they've got good players on paper, and they get into these good positions all the time. They get into good positions. When you watch them, they get into good positions. They never quite know how to finish them, or they run out of energy at the end. So 10 minutes before the break now, a try here, giving them the lead at half time would be perfect for them. But still really, really slow. Such slow ball here. Bertrand tries to go alone, but he is absolutely gobbled up by Javan Sebastian there. Really, really slow ball. Aaron Wainwright picks and goes, slowly moving forward. The Dragons here. Ball is still there for them. Tane Basham tries to go alone. Has he got there? Has he got it down? I think he has. I think he's got it down here. They might want to check it, but as far as I'm aware, he's got this down. Yes, he has. Tane Basham has scored here for the Dragons to give them a lead in this one by 12 points to 10, and a pretty simple conversion to come. And Tane Basham's doing a lot of good leg drive there to get over. And the Dragons, oh, are they going to check this? No, Ben Whitehouse happy with that. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. Ospreys are different team at home versus away. That must change, absolutely. And yeah, I am going to make an in-depth video on Welsh rugby soon. I will make a video on it, but I'm so busy with uni at the minute. I will make a video on it. Was there a point of time when the Ospreys were that was amazing? Because I think Squidge's first video was about what went wrong with the Ospreys. There was a time where we were good. Sam Davis has just added the 2 points, by the way, to give them a 14 points to 10 lead as we head towards the final 8 minutes or so of this first half. There was a point where we were competitive in it was known as the Celtic League, the Magners League back then. The last time we won the Pro 12, as it was known then, was back in 2012. We beat Leinster at the RDS. Dan Bigg again, a last-minute conversion of a Shane Williams try. And we always had a very good squad. We always had a team that basically created the Welsh team that won the Grand Slam in 2008 and won the Six Nations then in 2012. But for whatever reason, it never really clicked. And in Europe, we always underachieved in Europe. Always underachieved in Europe. Never made it count in Europe, ever. The only team within Europe to ever do anything particularly good is Cardiff. To be honest, Scarlets had a decent run one year. And I'm pretty sure they played Toulon in like the semi-finals or something. But just the level of this game compared to an Ulster Toulouse, which is on tonight, or in comparison to even Premiership games, even some of the South African teams that we've seen in the URC, especially when they play at home, is just miles apart. Just miles apart. No, I actually think Toby Booth is a really good head coach. I think he's a really good coach. And what you have to remember is 2 years ago, we finished second bottom. We didn't win a game at home for nearly a year. Sorry, a game on the road for nearly a year. Johnny Williams is coming on for Roberts, the young centre. I think it's a HIA. So 4 minutes go until half time. Johnny Williams back on the pitch. So good to see him there. But no, I think Toby Booth is a really good head coach. What he's done very well with the Ospreys is he's got what he could out of this team, but I still think there's more that he can get out of it. And we've made some pretty solid signings on the whole. I think Stephen Miller's been a brilliant signing. There's a couple of others I'm not so sure about. But I'm really impressed by Toby Booth. The way he talks, he's very honest in his press conferences and pre-match, post-match, always very honest, says how it is, and is always doesn't try and cover things up. I think he's a really good head coach. His track record shows that. I don't know what it is with Welsh rugby at the minute. Again, the big thing is, I do think a lot of it is historical. Of course, the regions were created back in 2004. And there's a lot of unhappy people, to say the least, about Welsh rugby and Welsh regions and the club game in Wales. It's a difficult one because I'm slightly too young. I'm 24 now. It's my birthday today, actually. So I'm 24 now. And I'm just slightly too young. I'd only been about 6 when it happened. So, yeah, I'm slightly too young to remember the fallout of it, but I'm going to try and talk to people about it and see what they think about it. But yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a really difficult one. What are the pathways like? Are the pathways good enough? Are the players good enough coming through? What is the level like at grassroots? What's the interest like in rugby? Is rugby too complicated a sport? What are the things that they need to look at? It's such a difficult one. And the big thing as well is that the national side isn't doing well at the minute, but the football team is doing very well at the minute. And I think will qualify for the World Cup. Well, I hope so. It will qualify for the World Cup at the end of the year. And I just think that the whole structure is wrong. You know, pricing of tickets, everything like that. It's just mad at the minute. And even see regional rugby, it's expensive. It's expensive to watch regional rugby if you're a certain age. Because I'm under 25, I can go see the Ospreys for about £15. But if I was an adult, I'd be paying 25, 30 quid for a ticket. It's just ridiculous for the quality of rugby that you see. And then for Wales, you're looking at about £100 a ticket, which from the way they played this Six Nations is a complete rip-off. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a really difficult one. And, yeah, it's a really tough one. A lot of penalties been given away here by the Dragons as we head towards half time. Thank you, Johan. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is my birthday. 24 years old today. When I get to 25, I think I'll start to feel slightly old. And then when you hit the big 3-0, that's it, isn't it? But yeah, 24 today. 24 today, getting old. But there we go. Oh, knocked on by Kieran Hardy there. That was an attacking scrum for the Scarlets there, and absolutely dropped it. Clanger there at 37.5 minutes gone, so 2.5 minutes to go until half time. So thank you very much, James. Really appreciate that. It's €25 if you're behind the goal, or 50 on the grandstand. It's expensive, isn't it? But the big thing about the Irish provinces is almost they can justify charging you that amount because they're successful. You know, Leinster go deep in Europe. Leinster will more than likely win the URC this season, if we're being honest. Ulster are going to go deep in Europe if they can win today. They're going to be up there come the end of the season. Munster will be up there. Connacht may even be up there. The Welsh regions don't really have that argument to put in there. And that's my big issue with it. And you've got to make it attractive. You've got to make it an attractive product on the field. And I just think that the way the Welsh regions are doing it, and also with like social media, things like that, engaging younger audiences, it's not working for them. It doesn't work for them. So they need to have a look at that. But I don't have all the answers. Otherwise, I'd be earning a lot of money if I did. A minute and a half to go until half time. Dragons still leading here by 14 points to 10. The Scarlets with the ball on the 10-meter line in their own half. Kieran Hardy gets it out. And they'll go through the forwards. It's a really weird first half, this one. If you're a Dragons fan, I think you'd be frustrated, to be honest. I think you'd be really frustrated because you'd feel like you could be even further ahead. You've obviously Scarlets have had 2 men in the bin. If you're Dragons, I think you're Scarlets, I think you're pretty happy. The only thing with the Scarlets is they haven't really looked like scoring many tries. You know, they've had a lot of possession in the 22, but never really looked like they're going to break down the opposition. But yeah, it's been pretty scrappy, and you're going to be interested to see how the second half goes. Penalty though to the Scarlets. They've sent it down. It's a really good kick from Sam Costello. So line out to the Scarlets just inside the half, just inside the 22, sorry, of the Dragons. I think the Stormers must get Alistair Coetzee back in the mix with the coaching staff. Sure, he did terrible with the box, but he's brilliant with the Stormers in the past. We'll certainly have to see. I mean, I've been really impressed by the South African teams since they've obviously been able to play at home. You got to remember a lot of those games were against the regions and the provinces without their star players. But you've got to say, really, really impressed by them, and just the physicality. When the Ospreys played the Lions a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago, blew us away physically. We just did not stand a chance physically. Got battered. Ireland, they charge what they want because people will spend what they want. I spent €85 per Ireland ticket and €600 for a Leinster season ticket, and then away tickets and European tickets, and also food, drink, traveling. It's so expensive, isn't it? It is just so expensive. And the big thing for the regions as well, I don't know about Leinster and the area around Leinster, but Swansea, Llanelli, which is where the Ospreys and Scarlets are located, and even Newport to an extent, they're not rich areas. They're really not rich areas. And Llanelli particularly is a very poor area, actually. And to be charging such prices, I mean, it's a derby day, sun is out, and beautiful. Just over half full, Pauca Scarlets. It's not great. It's not great. But the quality on the pitch isn't there. The price is too much, and it's just not good enough. Do you think Wales stand a chance to win the series in South Africa? At the minute, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Chance here for Liam Williams, though. And Liam Williams, I think, has scored in the corner for the Scarlets right at the end of this first half. Whether he was in touch ever so slightly, they will, I'm sure, check it. But as far as I'm aware, that is a try to the Scarlets. I think it's been given. I don't think they're going to have a look at it. I'd be interested to see Liam Williams' foot, whether he was in touch at all. It's a lovely work from Sam Costello. and then out. It just goes through the phases. Is he okay? Is he okay? Is he okay? He's okay. It's a try. It's a try for the Scarlets, and Scarlets, that'll be much better for them. Much better for them. The Dragons will be kicking themselves, but that's a brilliant finish from Liam Williams in the corner. Tough conversion coming up. Tough conversion coming up. Keep getting your comments, keep getting your questions in, folks. Hit the like, subscribe, of course. If you're just joining us on the channel, it's completely free. And we will take a quick 2-minute break on the channel for half time, and then we'll be back. We'll have your thoughts and your questions. And Sam Costello just about misses the conversion, and that will be half time. So the half time score is Scarlets leading here by 15 points to 14. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and we'll be back in just a second to have a chat about that. First off, look at the other European games, and we'll look forward to the second half. See you in just a second. Don't So there we go. We are back. It is half time in this one. The Scarlets leading the Dragons by 15 points to 14. A little bit of an odd one, got to say, a little bit of an odd one, but I hope everyone is doing well on this Saturday night. Of course, Easter Saturday today. So if you're celebrating, I hope you have a blessed and peaceful time, but also that you get a bit of a rest, I guess. You know, it's a long weekend for a lot of people, and hopefully we get a bit of a rest. And interestingly, lots of games going on tonight, lots and lots of games. So let's bring you up to date on some of the current scores that are going on around Europe. Of course, we have the round of 16 games going on. So at the minute, Toulouse are beating Ulster by 20 points to 10, meaning that on aggregate they are winning by 40 points to 36. Ramos has just scored. Bath are leading against, oh gosh, who are they playing against? My brain's gone blank. Bath are winning anyway. Toulon are beating Benetton as well. And also Gloucester are beating Northampton by 21 points to 0. So they are absolutely flying away with that one. But our focus is on this Welsh derby, Scarlets against Dragons. Scarlets having 2 men sent to the bin. They were both off at the same time. And the Dragons really couldn't capitalise all that much on it. They did get a try through Dixon, which I thought was quite fortuitous. We actually go back first to the first yellow card on Jonathan Davis. I don't actually think it's a yellow. I don't think it's a yellow. I don't think that it is a yellow. He's obviously made contact with the shoulder. It's moved up to the head ever so slightly. I think it's really harsh. Second yellow, Steph Evans can have no complaints. Hasn't released the man before the tackle, stopping the try, scoring opportunity. So certainly a yellow card. So, yeah. And then obviously Scarlets then coming back into it. Liam Williams scored a brilliant try at the end of the game as well. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Sure, some matches in South Africa without international Six Nations, guys. But last year we had to play in Australia for the Rugby Championship, while we also had to play in the URC. Yeah, I think so. I think the other big thing as well is that, you know, South Africa, a different climate, different altitude, very different, not completely different style of rugby, but the way South Africa approach the game is slightly different up here in the Northern Hemisphere. And you got to give it to them. The South African teams were absolutely brilliant, and the URC teams really struggled. And I mean, I know you pointed out there about having some of the internationals back, which is true. That Ulster Bulls game, very fortunate for the Bulls, because Ulster should have had a try, or should have at least had a scrum 5 penalty right at the end there. I think the referee, the Italian referee, got that one wrong. We were watching it with Stephen Somerville here on the channel, and let's just say he was not happy with the referee. Let's just say he was not happy with him. And rightly so. Rightly so. I think he got it completely wrong. Rugby in Leinster is attended by middle upper class. If you look at the Leinster squad, most of them went to private schools. The RDS is in an affluent area, and the same with the Aviva. And that's the thing, you know, you've got to think about who you're marketing to, and also where the stadiums are located. Liberty Stadium, nightmare to get to. Well, it's called the Swansea.com now. Nightmare to get to. Panca Scarlets, it's not even in Llanelli. It's a good 10-minute drive outside of Llanelli. So he's quite far out of Llanelli. Rodney Parade is pretty central Cardiff. Arms Park is perfect location, bang in the middle of Cardiff, right next to the Principality, right next to it. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. Who is Louis Samet playing for in the URC? He doesn't. He plays for Gloucester. So he is a Gloucester player, and absolutely tearing it up for them as well. And that raised an interesting point on Wayne Pivac, which I'm going to make a video on this specifically, how he seems to alienate players all the time. He alienates players all the time. And that's the big frustration that I have with Pivac, is if you have one bad game, that's it. You're out the team. And it's a very, very harsh way of looking at it. Yeah, Stormers versus Ulster, my bad. Cheers, Johan. It's marketed really well in Leinster. That's the big thing, isn't it? And also in Ireland, you know, I don't want to speak for the Irish folk, but for instance, football, it's big. Of course, it's big. You know, you got the Irish Premiership there as well. You got like Cork City, Dundalk, all those kind of teams. but it's not as big as it is here, you know. And with Swansea and Cardiff, Swansea specifically, who I support in football as well, having done well in recent years on the whole, although we drew to Barnsley yesterday, which was interesting. It's another big competition for it. And as I said, with the national team doing better now in football, it's going to be a really, really tough ask for rugby to pick up again. But I just think it needs to be marketed better. It just needs to be marketed so much better. Right, the second half has just got underway. Dragons have got us underway. And our focus returns to this as I try and type and spell correctly. And as I said, Scarlets leading here by 15 points to 14. I'm not sure if someone's chucked a flare on or something like that, but the smokiness is pretty crazy at the minute. And Kieran Hardy will clear it. And the ball is there for the Dragons, just inside their own half here. You feel as if the Scarlets score next, that's it, game over. I just don't see the Dragons coming back into this one, really. But if the Dragons get the first score of the game, could make it really, really interesting indeed. And it's going to be a line out here to the Scarlets. Penalty here to the Dragons then. I support Real Madrid, and for good reason, because I was fact used to live in Madrid from 5 to 8 years old. I mean, you must have enjoyed that game against Chelsea, and what a game that is. And also, I got interesting news. I am going to be doing a football channel very, very soon. So one of the old channels I had was for clips, which I never really uploaded at all on the channel, if I'm being honest. So that's going to be starting pretty soon, to be honest. Pretty soon that's going to be starting. So yeah, that's going to be starting pretty soon, but keep your eyes out for that. The Dragons here with a scrum just inside the Scarlets half. Oh, lovely. Dixon. Lovely ball here, and the Dragons are going to score here. It's a lovely finish for the Dragons, and it is a brilliant score. And the Dragons here are leading in this one. It's Jared Rosser who has scored. Well, it was Adam Warren who didn't get held in the tackle, picked himself up, went again, got the ball out. Let's just check this. Yeah, tackle isn't completed on him, so he has every right to get up. And Jared Ross offers a brilliant support line, and he runs it in. And the Dragons here are leading by 19 points to 15. They are going to check it, though, to see if the tackle has been completed. Do I know a channel called The Black Jersey? I don't, but I will check it out. Is it? I assume it's about the All Blacks. The question is, has he been tackled here? His knees hit the ground, which would say to me that that's a completed tackle. I think Ben Whitehouse is going to give this, and I'm not sure if this is the right call again from Ben Whitehouse. Usually when your knees touch the ground, that's it. And the try stands. The commentary team do not agree. I do not agree with it, but the try does stand here for the Dragons, and that's a controversial decision from Ben Whitehouse. Sam Davis adds the 2 points, and we really do have a game on our hands now. And the game, I think the Scarlets will have to start to go for it at this point, but is that the right decision? Not too sure. I don't think Ben Whitehouse has quite got that one right. So Scarlets get us back underway. Dragons leading here by 21 points to 15. No, Scarlets. Black jerseys and New Zealand rugby. I'll certainly be checking them out. If you also get knocked out of Europe, I'm sick of their BS. Kick me out of Europe because they bottle you up each year, league merchants. That's certainly a Leinster fan talking, isn't it? That's certainly a Leinster fan talking. We will keep an eye out on those scores, of course, throughout the course of the rest of this game. And we will keep an eye out on that. So Toulouse still leading that one by 20 points to 15. Ulster leading that on aggregate by 1.41 to 40. Northampton Saints are actually back in their game, 14 points to 21 against Gloucester. So plenty of rugby going on tonight. A little bit scrappy once again here from the Scarlets. And it's going to be a scrum here to the Dragons, knocked on from the Scarlets. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to be doing Saracens against Cardiff. So make sure to join me live for that. It's an early one. It's a 12:45 p.m. one with kickoff at 1 p.m. So be sure to join me for that one. That's a Challenge Cup round of 16 game. So quite a bit on the line in that one. So looking forward to that. So be sure to join me live for that one. When this stream actually ends, it will automatically load into it anyway. But the link is in the chat now if you want to set your reminders on that. I think the big thing with Ulster is they play a really nice brand of rugby. I really enjoy them. But in the big games, it's where they struggle, isn't it? And try not to offend too many people, but they do feel hard done by, don't they? By Ireland, by referees, by all of this, all the time they do. And to an extent, maybe there's truth in that. But yeah, I don't know. Look, they're leading at the minute, so they have to take that absolutely into consideration. But they need to start doing it in the URC. They need to win the Pro 14, the URC title. They need to do that, I think. I really want to see the Box knocking France unconscious out of their World Cup next year, but that will not happen. It's going to be an interesting World Cup, you know, and I'm really excited for it, not from a Welsh perspective, but I think there are 4 teams that could win it, maybe 5 teams that could win it in my book. That would, of course, be Ireland. New Zealand could certainly win it. South Africa could certainly win it. France are probably the favourites. And England, you can never discount England out of the conversation. Those are the 5 teams I think that could win it. I don't put Wales in that conversation. Do not put Scotland in that conversation at all. Argentina are not great at the minute at all. And I don't see there being a surprise. I don't think Australia are quite there either. They'll be targeting the next World Cup, which is in 2027, which looks like they're going to get. And they're also going to get the 2029 Women's World Cup as well. So they can get 2 World Cups back-to-back together. So it looks like that's the one they should be targeting, really, to have a home World Cup. So a little bit scrappy at the start of this second half. 6.5 minutes gone. Scrum here to the Scarlets. And penalty here to the Scarlets, but the advantage is given. So Kieran Hardy bursts out from the back of the scrum. Slow ball here for the Scarlets, though. And they'll come back for the original penalty. If you're just joining us, by the way, it is Scarlets 15, Dragons 21. Starting the second half. Hope everyone is doing well and keeping okay. And it's good to be back doing some watch-alongs again. Hopefully there'll be some more regular content coming out this week as well. So yeah, really looking forward to it. And some massive derbies next week, as I've already said. You know, we've got Dragons, Scarlets, we've got Ospreys, Cardiff, and we've got Ulster, Munster. We're going to try and do all three next weekend if we can. So plenty of rugby to look forward to. Line out here, but stolen by the Dragons. Very well stolen, in fact. Bertrand, who gets it out. Sam Davis into Dixon, the try scorer. You do feel like the next score will make it interesting. If the Dragons can get the next try in this game, it makes it really, really interesting, doesn't it? Because it'll open that gap for them, give them that little bit of breathing space, and really make the Scarlets come and chase this. I thought that was knocked on by the Scarlets there. But ball here for the Scarlets as Javan Sebastian comes away. Do you remember the holy days when the Bulls unbelievably good in Super Rugby? 2002, 2007, 2010. I remember when I was younger with my grandparents. My grandfather, my Tide, loved rugby. Loved rugby. That's where my love for rugby comes from. And if I was staying there over the weekend, it'd be 8 a.m. You'd get up and you'd put a one on. And then in the evening, you'd watch one of the Welsh sides play. And I used to love that. So, yeah, those are some good times. I absolutely remember them fondly. Maybe Wayne Pivac isn't made for coaching international teams. Greatest extent where he can coach good at his rugby club teams. I don't know what it is. I think following Gatland was always going to be tough. Very similar to the situation with Alex Ferguson. So Alex Ferguson at Manchester United, always going to be tough. But there are just decisions that he makes that I just don't understand. And the big issue for me is this lack of identity. There's a lack of game plan, knowing what we're trying to do. The players look very confused to me. It looks like we have a very one-dimensional way of playing, and if that doesn't work, then that's it. You know, there is nothing else. And it's very basic things like we played Fiji last autumn, and for the first 20 minutes, we played it like we were playing sevens rugby against Fiji, which makes no sense because Fiji are the best in the world at doing that. They've just got and beaten England sevens team with their sevens side. They're the best in the world at playing with the loose rugby and playing it with it open and loose. So why in the world would Wales try and play in that same way? I don't get it. I just don't get it. And look, he's not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. If they're going to sack him, they'd have done it after the Italy game. But there's a lot of questions to be asked about him. Oh, lovely angle here from Dixon off the line out there. Up to the 5-metre line. The Dragons coming forward here. Half an hour to go in this one. But turned over by the Scarlets. That's a huge turnover from the Scarlets. And the Dragons putting some nice phases together here. But again, then the support, I think it's Blade Thompson who's come onto the pitch, gets that turnover. Angus O'Brien is also on. So the Scarlets have made a couple of changes here. I love the way Ireland are playing at the moment. And Andy Farr with a nice expansive background rugby and decoy move. I think he's done brilliant, hasn't he? I think the thing what he's done so well with Schmidt, he's taken the Schmidt ball, the way of playing, and added the attacking impetus, hasn't he, as well? And they've got the balance right. Are they peaking too early? Will it be another quarter-final exit for them? We'll have to wait and see, won't we? It'll be interesting to see for sure. Couple of injured bodies out here at the minute. And I mean, the Dragons, half an hour away from their second win of the season. Only their second win. It is pretty tough. Scarlets here from the line out then. Kieran Hardy will look to send this out from his own half. Sends it up. Steph Evans chasing, but well taken in the air by Jared Rosser. Gonzalo Berchanu. Aaron Wainwright switches it, but the pass was forward from Berchanu. Silly mistake that. Real silly mistake that. That is a silly mistake. Really, really silly mistake. Folks, if you're just joining, by the way, please do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts on the game. Let's check in, actually, with the other scores. Of course, we've got plenty of rugby going on in Europe. Hodri Williams is on for Berchanu. So Berchanu's last involvement there was to throw the ball away. There we go. Let's have a look then at what is going on around Europe right now. Toulouse are still leading by 20 points to 17, but also leading on aggregate by 43 points to 40. In the Challenge Cup then, we have Toulon are leading Benetton by 17 points to 3. Gloucester are leading Northampton Saints by 21 points to 14, while Bath are beating Edinburgh by 19 points to 15. So those are the scores. So lots to happen in those games. And of course, as I said already, we're going to do Saracens against Cardiff tomorrow, live from about 1:45. That game in the Challenge Cup round 16. Saracens have picked a strong team. It's going to be really tough for Cardiff, but they've been playing pretty well recently, so should be a good watch. A line out here to the Scarlets, just on the 22 of the Dragons. Ball's not moving, so Kieran Hardy gets it out into Johnny Williams, who's on. Angus O'Brien also on. Liam Williams gets it out wide here. Lovely chance here for Steph Evans in the corner, but he can't quite keep it alive. Have they kept it alive? I think they've kept it alive, and Johnny Williams has scored. Oh, I don't know what happened with the bounce of the ball there. Okay. I don't know if they need to have a look at this. Steph Evans somehow kept it alive. Liam Williams somehow kept it alive. The bounce of the ball was very, very fortuitous towards the Scarlets. Ben Whitehouse is certainly going to have a look at this, but his initial reaction was try. Tough one to call with 25 minutes to go. This is a big, big call. Right, Steph Evans is here. He's fine there. He's fine there. He's fine there. Yep, that's fine. Doesn't go forward. Liam Williams keeps it alive. That's fine. Ball goes back. And that is a... Oh, actually, there's a head-on-head there. No, I think that's okay. And the conversion is added to Scarlets back in the lead here. And we really have a game on our hands here. 22 points to 21. Headed into the last 25 minutes. This could be quite an exciting finish, folks. After the first half, which was pretty poor, this could be an exciting finish. But you always felt like the Dragons needed to get another score, didn't you? To really try and pull away in this one. Another change here for the Scarlets then. Josh McLeod is on for Lozana. I mean, he's been so unfortunate with injuries. So good to see him back on the pitch. Also, play good rugby, but you know what's going to happen in Europe. It's inevitable. They couldn't even win the Aldi Champions Cup last year. Well, we'll see in it because they're playing against probably one of the best teams in Europe in Toulouse. So we'll see how they get on, won't we? Maybe you should give Pivac a chance because Clive Woodward, went through this exact problem at the beginning of his coaching career with England. and then they've won the World Cup 5 years later. I think you want to see that progression. You want to see that that identity, the way that you're going to play. I don't like his way with players. If a player has a bad game, that's it. They're out. I mean, Ellis Jenkins, first game of the Six Nations against Ireland, played, not seen again in the Six Nations. Tame Basham dropped halfway through the Six Nations completely. Louis Summit dropped and then brought back, and he was the only good thing we had in a couple of those games. He's a really strange decisions that he makes, and yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it, but I'm happy to be proved wrong. Big scrum here for the Dragons, though. Just outside the 22, fed in, Hodri Williams. Good shove coming in from the Scarlets, but the Dragons do manage to get it away. Jared Ross, the try scorer, tackled just outside the 22. Scarlets trying to turn it over, and they've managed to do it as well. I think it's Callum Mahoney who's got the turnover. Huge turnover for the Scarlets. And it's those little things which will shift the momentum. Those little things that will have a big impact on this game. Still Ulster lead them by 43 points to 40 on aggregate. And it is still, I believe, 20 points to 17 in favour of Toulouse. It is that aggregate score that matters the most. Line out here to the Scarlets then, just outside the 22 of the Dragons. It's still 17 points to 3 to Toulon against Benetton in the Challenge Cup. Toulon in the Challenge Cup is odd, isn't it? Gloucester 21-14 against Northampton, and then Bath are 19 points to 15 against Edinburgh. Solid line out here from the Scarlets, driving more setup and the advantage being played as well. So good chance here for them, and penalty given, Maul taken down illegally. Collapsing the Maul, Leon Brown there. And it's those little things that cost the Dragons. Big decision here for the Scarlets. I would stick this in the corner because you've got all the momentum here. And that's what they're going to do. Angus O'Brien sticks it in the corner. So line out here 6 meters or so out. So line out here then to the Scarlets. Won here well by McLeod. Ball is there. Another advantage being played here for the Scarlets. And you just can't be giving away stupid penalties like this. And it's going to be a comeback for the original penalty. And I think we might see someone in the bin here, or we're going to have at least a word. Ben White is having a word with Harrison Kelly. I'm sure this will be the final warning. Yeah, final warning then for Harrison Kelly. Scarlets shouldn't be struggling against the Dragons of all teams. It's a derby. That's another thing that you got to add into there. The Dragons actually, in attack, have looked pretty good. It's in defence where they make stupid errors. And that's been their story all season. Stupid errors, lack of concentration. They feel the pressure and they give away a stupid penalty. I think it's a time for change for the Dragons. I don't see why you keep Dean Ryan this summer. I don't see why you keep him. Leon Brown is off. Coleman comes on for him. Do you see Jack Noel in the crowd at Munster? Of course, full Munster kit on a stag do. Good mates to stitch you up there. Blacker is on for Liam Williams in the back line for the Scarlets. Liam Williams hobbling off a little bit, so we hope he's okay. Of course, Johnny McNichol went off injured last week, and it looks like that could be pretty serious from what Dwayne Peel had to say in his pre-match press conference about this one. Sean Evans with the ball at the back of this scrum here. Beginning to move forward here for the Scarlets. Going for that try. Really good defence here from the Dragons. Tiny bit short here from the Scarlets. Would this be the try to potentially kill the game? Another advantage for the Scarlets here. Sam Costello gets it out. Jonathan Davis flings the pass out. Looking here. Is it going to be a try? It is. It's Kieran Hardy who scores for the Scarlets. And finally, that try comes, and you feel as well, if that try hadn't have come, that there probably would have been a yellow for the Dragons. But Kieran Hardy playing almost as a winger there, finishing off beautifully. And the Scarlets lead here by 27 points to 21. And is that the try that will give them the victory in this one? And it's a lovely flowing pass from Jonathan Davis. Really good awareness from him. And it's actually a really good finish from Kieran Hardy. And the Scarlets with an opportunity to go even further into the lead. England struggled to understand Woodward's tactic at first. It took Woodward 3 years to make that English team a actual strong team. Pivac, it's not peaking yet. I think it's the basics that really frustrate me with Pivac. And I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one. But we will do deep dives on all the nations ahead of the summer tours, of course. And we'll get you folks involved. Chance here then for Angus O'Brien to have the 2. And he's missed the conversion. So 27 points to 21. I mean, still within a converted try. Lovely pass there for Kieran Hardy. I'm not sure how much longer we've got left. Maybe about 15 minutes in this one. 20 minutes. Just under 20 minutes to go in this one. The Dragons are down to a man as well. Yellow card as well for them. So even though the try did come, they were still sent to the bin. And the Dragons get us back underway. And it is cleared away. Well taken in the air by Hodry Williams on the 10-metre line. Decent position here for the Dragons if they can do something from here now. Look to build from here. Keddy, the captain. Hughes is on for Sean Evans in the front row. Rob Evans is also on for Thomas in the front row. Whatever happened to Rob Evans? O'Connor is on for Javan Sebastian. Rob Evans used to be the first choice for Wales, but now struggling to get into the Scarlets team. And it's another penalty to the Scarlets, another turnover. And again, Rob Evans, first involvement for him. Again, the turnover just inside the Dragons' half. And momentum really is with the Scarlets at this point in the game. And Angus O'Brien will send this one down. And it's not a bad kick from him at all to put them into the 22. And now this is when the Scarlets really need to be going for the jugular. Really look to put the pressure on, see if they can get that next try, which would be their bonus point try, I'm pretty sure as well. So line out here then to the Scarlets. You feel if they score here, game over really. Oh, they've lost the line out though. Turned over by the Dragons. Great steal from the Dragons. And Hodry Williams can send this one straight out. And he sends it right down there. Keeps it alive, which is an interesting decision. Sione Kalamafoni runs at Dixon. Tackled though just inside the Dragons' half here. Blacker gets it out. Good hands here from the Scarlets. Lovely hands here from the Scarlets. Aaron Shingler gives the ball inside to Blacker, but he trips over. Good tackle coming in on him, though. If the Scarlets can get quick ball here, you think they might be in, but decide to go through the forwards. Angus O'Brien into Johnny Williams, who's made a big impact since coming on. Steph Evans goes alone, but he's tackled. And penalty to the Dragons at the Mall. And again, a bit of back chat from the Scarlets. So they've been marched 10 metres. Steph Evans. Bit too much chatting there. Ben Whitehouse wants a word with him. Steph Evans told to keep his mouth shut. No need to talk like that. Got room service, some soup, chips and pancakes, and a beer, rugby, and on holidays. Elite tier feeling, mate. Enjoy it. Absolutely enjoy it. Hope you settled into Germany as well. Munich, I want to say you're in. Let me know how things are going on there. Hope things are well, but glad you're enjoying yourself. Yeah, I don't like Pirate tactic. Wales don't really get over the game. I'm getting frustrated just when I look at Pirate chasing TV when he sits in the coaching box. Yeah, and losing to Italy, in my opinion, is sackable. It's sackable. You should not be losing to Italy. Even though Italy have massively improved, and I think it's really good for Italian rugby. Shouldn't be happening. Should not be happening. Should not be happening. Every time Leinster losing the league, I expect to see a second, but I don't know how we are. First, because it's a hard season in the league for us. It's been a very weird season with everything going on, hasn't it? It's been such a weird season. And I think that next season, things will settle and we'll see a more competitive league. And I think the South African teams will have settled. And I think we'll also see that some of the other teams will have settled a bit more. Dragons made some good signings. I suppose we haven't made anything really, but there'll be some interesting players coming in. I know that Malachi Fekitoa is going to Munster, which is a huge signing. So exciting. Yeah, should not be losing to Italy at home. Absolutely not. What happened to Evans? I remember playing it, yeah, just dropped down the pecking order. And I think it's a weird one. It seems to be the case that, that's a bad mistake from Steph Evans, who tried to catch the ball, but it's ran into touch. And if we align it to the Dragons in the Scarlets, 22, just under 50 minutes to go. And it's going to be a line-out to the Dragons. Sean, hope you're doing well. Good to see you in the chat, mate. Hope things are going well with yourself. What have you thought of this two-legged knockout round? I feel they're copying the Champions League. Potentially money. So, yeah, could potentially be a bit of money. But I think it is a way of getting more eyes on it, maybe making it a bit more tense. Personally, I'm more in favour of just seeing a one-legged game, just one leg. The best team obviously gets the home leg and you go from there. Dragons coming forward here really nicely, actually, from that driving maul. 5 meters short here. Try here. Makes a really interesting final 13 minutes or so. And that's the problem for the Scarlets. They've never really been able to pull away from the Dragons in this one. Hodri Williams into Leon Brown. And Coleman pushed back on this one. This is good defence here from the Scarlets. 5 phases deep. Don't forget the Dragons are down to 14 men still. Ball is there for Hodri Williams. Harrison Keddy. Tackled by Sione Kalamafoni, who has been, honestly, he's incredible. Oh, lovely step inside. Dixon, half a break from him, the centre. He's had a very good game today. Scarlett's trying to turn it over. Ball is loose, but Hodri Williams just about gets it back. It's good work from him. It's slow for the Dragons, but they've got to be patient. Look for the openings. Keddy, good work here from the Dragons. Ball is there for them. Hodri Williams tries to go alone. He's a little bit isolated. But they do get it back. Will Rowlands carries. Jonathan Davis over the ball. Huge turnover from Jonathan Davis there. Brilliant work there from Jonathan Davis. Good defence from the Scarlets. Good patience from the Dragons, but they never really looked like scoring, did they? Munich is flying my college application for next semester, except this, I've got my apartment. So fantastic. Great to hear that, and I'm glad you're settling in well. What are you studying? Let me know. I'm currently studying sport journalism, so I have placement coming up starting not next Monday, but Monday after that. So looking forward to that. Who's the better defence coach, Jacques Nimbe or Sean Edwards? I'm going to be a bit biased. I'm going to say Sean Edwards, but both have done exceptional jobs, haven't they? But I think the reason I'd say Sean Edwards is he's taken a team like France, who have never typically been good at defending, and he's transformed them. They've still got a long way to go. I still think there are frailties in that France squad, like we saw when they played Ireland. But I think they are an incredible side. I really, really do. And I think he's made a big impact to them. Applying for a Bayern Munich ticket for next season ticket, €280, 38 games. I mean, that's what they do in Germany, isn't it? It's just so much cheaper, and it makes fans more involved in the game. Less than 12 minutes to go in this one. Angus O'Brien will kick that one downfield for the Scarlets penalty. It'll be a line out just over their own 10-metre line. Let's see what players Leinster bring to South Africa. Hopefully a good amount of internationals there. Rest a few, yes, but this is not the Kings and Cheetahs. I'm going to sneeze. I can feel it. I'm not going to sneeze. It's gone. That's so frustrating. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, lots of games next weekend. Let's quickly have a look at them. Let me actually bring you up to date on what's going on in Europe. So in the Champions Cup this evening, of course, Ulster taking on Toulouse. It's still 20 points to 17 to Toulouse, but Ulster still going through 43 points to 40 on aggregate. And then in the Challenge Cup, I think I got a bit of a cold coming on, to be honest. In the Challenge Cup, Toulon are still leading Benetton by 17 points to 3. Gloucester leading Northampton by 28 points to 14. And Edinburgh trailing Bath by 19 points to 15. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to be doing Saracens against Cardiff live from 12:45 kickoff at what's it called, 1 p.m. So do join me for that. Do join me for that. Mate, that is very, very clever. That is very, very clever. That is not my forte. But very, very clever indeed. Leicester versus Leinster, the quarterfinals should be interesting. Absolutely. We'll be trying to do watch-alongs for them. When are those actually taking place? What? So the quarterfinals are the second weekend in May. I think it's the second weekend. Yeah, so second weekend in May. So the 6th, 7th, and 8th. So absolutely, we will do that one. 100% we'll be doing that. And looking forward to that very, very much so. Really looking forward to that. Oh, chance here for the Dragons late on. Final 10 minutes. They're into the 22 here, about 9 metres short. Will Rowlands picks and goes. Now, the Dragons have really struggled to break down the Scarlets' defence in the 22. And that's going to be the challenge for them now. Audrey Williams gets it out to Sam Davis. Dixon. Half a break from him, but tackled by Callum Mafodi. He's pulling a mad amount of tackles this game. Pretty expensive, but would be worth the spectacle, I'm sure. Will Rowlands with half a break. The Dragons really knocking out the door here. I mean, 7 points here would put them in the lead with 8 minutes to go. Oh, big tackle coming in from Rob Evans there on Keddy. Sam Davis, ball out wide. Oh, is that a little knock on? So it's a deliberate knock on. Now, the big question for me here would be, does this stop a try-scoring opportunity? So Ben Whitehouse doesn't think this is a deliberate knock on, but the touch judge does. So I think it might have been Steph Evans. So it's a knock-on in the tackle, they're saying, but Ben Whitehouse just wants to make sure that it's not a deliberate knock-on, because I think if this ball goes wide, I think the Dragons score. They're going to have a look here. This is a really big call with, what, 8.5 minutes to go. This could be a yellow card. I don't know if it'd be a penalty try. So this ball comes out wide here. Yeah, Steph Evans is going to be in the bin here. Not Steph Evans, sorry. Oh gosh, names, Brandon. Think. Names. Corey Baldwin. Corey Baldwin, I think, is going to be in the bin here. And is this going to be a... The big question is there enough cover to say that they would be able to sort that out? Because otherwise, this is a penalty try. So Sam Davis here. It's a yellow card. I don't think they're going to give the penalty try here. So it's a yellow card here to Steph Evans. Sorry, to Baldwin. Yellow card to Baldwin then. Scarlets down to 14. Dragons knocking at the door here. They have a penalty which they can stick in the corner. And with 8.5 minutes to go, this could be pretty big here. This could be really, really big. So Sam Davis sticks it in the corner. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Why not Nambia? The 2019 Spring Oak considered 4 tries in that entire World Cup. Very, very impressive. Absolutely. They're both pretty on the same level. The difference between Never and Edwards that never tried blitz defense. We'll come back to this comment. Driving maul here for the Dragons. It looks pretty inevitable, this try. Can they get it down? Is it down? And it's been given. Ben Whitehouse has given the try. And the Dragons are leading here. Well, opportunity to lead if they can get this conversion right. Who's the man at the bottom of the pile? Who is the man at the bottom of the pile? 20 all now between Toulouse and Ulster. Toulouse, therefore, going through at the minute, aren't they? Ben Whitehouse seems pretty happy that this has been grounded, but I'm not sure. Oh, no, sorry, Toulouse. Sorry, Ulster leading by 46 points to 40 on aggregate in that one. So try given here to the Dragons and a chance here for Sam Davis to give the Dragons the lead. And with what? Less than 7 minutes to go by the time to complete the kick. If he can get it, they got the man advantage. This could be their second try of the win of the season. And it'd be a huge win. Sam Davis steps up, kicks. Has he got it? He has it straight to the post. And the Dragons lead here by 28 points to 27. It's a 1-point game. And we have 6.5 minutes to go. 6.5 minutes to go. What is going to happen? I mean, Scarlets down to 14. 2 points trailing now. I thought the Scarlets would win this by 2 scores. I thought they'd win this easily by 2 scores. But here we go now. The Dragons just have to manage. They have to manage and play in the right areas of the field now. They have to manage this game. Otherwise, 28 points to 7 in the lead. The Dragons looking for only their second win of the season. Oh, lovely take from Will Rowlands in the air. Lozana's on for Thompson. Thompson's had to go off for a HIA for the Scarlets. Sam Davis spotting the space in behind. Good kick from him. That's very true. That's very true, Johan. That is very true. And cleared away by the Scarlets. So we're heading towards the final 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes to go. Dragons are leading by 28 points to 27 against Scarlets, looking for only their second win of the season. What a win this would be for the Dragons. I mean, it would take a lot of pressure off Dean Ryan. Not all the pressure, but it'd take a lot off. But both teams have shot themselves in the foot in this game, massively have. But this will be a huge performance for them. The Dragons just have to manage this game now. They just got to manage this game. Don't give away any cheap penalties and play in the right areas of the field. That's what they've got to do now. They've got to get their experienced players. Will Rowlands Rodri Williams, Sam Davis, all to step up and take control of the situation now. They do have a line out, though, inside the Scarlets half. What a surprise this would be. And this will probably kill any hopes of the Scarlets to get to the playoffs, to be honest, if they lose this. They do have the bonus point, and the Dragons have also got the bonus point. So this will be a bonus point win for the Dragons. Great driving maul from the Dragons here. Peeling off the back there. Oh, it's kept alive. Rodri Williams is going to score. And Rodri Williams has scored it for the Dragons. They're probably going to check it. I think they're going to check this because I'm not sure if there's a knock-on in the build-up to this try. Rodri Williams has scored here in the corner, but has there been a knock-on in the build-up? So the driving maul here is good. Peeling off the back. It's knocked back. No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Rodri Williams stays in touch. And Rodri Williams crosses for the Dragons. And the Dragons are all set for a very, very famous victory here. Only their second win of the season. I did not see this coming whatsoever. I just did not see this coming. Fair play to the Dragons. Do you know what? I was debating whether doing this game or doing the Ulster-Toulouse game tonight. I thought I want to do the Welsh Regions because I'm Welsh. I want to support the Welsh Regions. What a game we've had. Sam Davis adds the 2, and we're heading towards the final 4 minutes. And Dragons lead here by 35 points to 7. I don't want to say, but I think this game is over. I think the Dragons have got a very, very famous win. Very famous win. Scarlets trying to take the restart, but it's not gone far enough. And it's going to be a scrum here. And I think the Dragons are going to have won this one. Sam Davis also is only one of 4 players to get 1,000 points in this competition. Fair play to him. 2020 between Ulster and Toulouse. Mad. But scrum here to the Dragons. 3 minutes away. 3 minutes away from winning only their second game of the season. Ulster winning 46-40 on aggregate. What a game that is. What a game that is. But this ain't a bad one either. Good kick through from Rodri Williams. Oh, Steph Evans has dropped it, but he did go back. And a little bit of space for him to run. I mean, Scarlets going to have to score in the next minute or so and then try and go up the field again. Knocked on, though, by the Scarlets. And Dragons are in the 22 now. Drop goal to finish it? Or do you just go through the phases here? Rodri Williams with the ball. The forwards are waiting. 2.5 minutes to go in this one for a very famous victory for the Dragons. Five phases deep here. Rodri Williams into Keddy. 2 minutes to go in this one now. They're still going through the forwards. Nice and slow, but patient and controlling the game. Another set of forwards goes. Scarlets trying to get over the ball, and they managed to do it, but illegally. So penalty to the Dragons. And just take the points, boys. Waste the clock down. You've got 1.5 minutes to take this. And it looks like the Dragons are going to get their second win of the season. And I think that probably kills it for the Scarlets. I really do. I can't see a way. Let's just have a quick look at the table. Having a look at the table, Scarlets are in 9th. It's not fully gone. It's not fully gone in their favour. They're currently 6 points behind the Bulls, but they've now played their game in hand. Jack Dixon has been named man of the match. I think he's been brilliant. He showed a lot of good ability tonight. Made some good breaks. Got the try. Questionable try, maybe. But, yeah, he's done very, very well tonight. Sam Davis then with a kick. I think the Stormers can win the URC if they just get a fitness right. The second half is the Stormers' soft underbelly. Well, once the final whistle goes, I'll take a quick look at the table and we'll see how things are lining up. So Sam Davis to give the Dragons a very big win against the Scarlets. Sam Davis sends it over. We will have time for the restart, but 38 points to 27 is quite the result. And it's going to be only the second win of the season for the Dragons. Have they deserved it? Probably just about, yes. But still, it's been knocked on here from the Scarlets. And that is it. And the Dragons have won only their second game of the season, but finally have their win. Scarlets take the win here. Sorry, Dragons take the win here by 27 points to 38. Fantastic result for the Dragons. Congratulations to them. They took their opportunities when they got them, especially in the second half. The defense was very good on the whole, and the yellow cards just killed the Scarlets. So congratulations to them. Let's quickly then have a look at the table. And let's see then what the table looks like. Let's see. It's not going to be quite up to date, but let's have a quick look. Ulster still lead on aggregate. I am going to leave it after looking at this table because I'm shattered and I've got another watch on tomorrow. But I'll certainly be tuning into the rest of that one. Let me just share my screen with you to have a look at the table. So there we go. This is how the table looks, not taking into consideration this result tonight. So Scarlets are on 14 played here, but they have played that game, haven't they? So they remain on 37 points, 6 points off the Bulls. Of course, the 6th place is that playoff position, isn't it? Being now, what? I mean, they're 9 points off, aren't they? It pretty much seems impossible for them now. I mean, the only teams really that got any shouts sneaking in now, the Bulls, Edinburgh, of pushing into there. But that is how the table currently looks. Congratulations to the Dragons. They did deserve to win tonight. Yellow cards really, really cost this team. Surely using steroids. I don't quite think so, but I just think that, you know, ill discipline really, really cost this Scarlet side. Let's quickly have a look at the stats from this one then. And then we will wrap it up for this evening. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I know it's been a while since I've done a watch long, so really, really appreciate you jumping on. To try score, Dragons got 5 tries tonight compared to the 4 of Scarlets. 52% possession compared to 48 possession. 7 clean breaks, 21 defenders beaten. But that obviously shows because of the 2 yellow cards Scarlets had at 1 point. That really did affect them. In defence, 52% to 48% territory. Tackles pretty similar. 21 missed tackles, though, from the Scarlets. Again, that yellow card, but that still will concern them. 94% tackle success rate, though, for the Dragons is an incredible achievement. But turnovers, Scarlets had the dominance there. Dragons did kick quite a bit more, but had very good kicking success across the course of the game. Penalties conceded. I can't believe that. 16 penalties conceded to the Dragons to only the 7 of the Scarlets. But somehow the Dragons come away with the victory. So congratulations to the Scarlets, to the Dragons, sorry. Very, very well done. By the way, do you prefer Rugby 22 or Rugby Challenge 4? Neither, to be honest. Neither, if I'm being totally honest. I've tried to play Rugby 22. I tried to stream it, tried to give it a go. I just don't enjoy the game. I just don't enjoy the game. Rugby Challenge 4, just don't enjoy the game, unfortunately. And that's just how it is. I just don't enjoy the game. Ulster player got a red card. Oh, that's going to be a nervy finish for Ulster. You'd have to say red for O'Toole, yeah. Sent off for a high tackle and leading by 3 points on aggregate. And they've got to go 15 minutes. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Before I do go, though, we will, of course, tomorrow be doing Sarries against Cardiff in the Challenge Cup round of 16. So make sure to join me live for that. Once the stream ends, it will automatically load into that one. So live at 12:45 p.m. UK time. So be sure to set your reminders on that for tomorrow. And then next weekend, we'll go back to all the URC games. We do the big derby. So we got Scarlets Dragons again. We've got Cardiff taking on Ospreys, and then we've got Ulster Munster as well. But I am going to leave it there. Enjoy the rest of the rugby this evening. Keep an eye on that Ulster game. But yes, I will catch you tomorrow. Be sure to join me live for that one. If not, take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend, and I will see you soon. Take it easy, Richard. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and peace. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you for all the birthday wishes as well. Massively appreciated. We're getting old, 24. But we'll be back tomorrow. See you then.